All right, everyone, next lesson, 7.3, factoring trinomials now. So we just completed lesson 7.2, which was factoring GCF. This lesson is now going to be factoring trinomials. So what we need to do before we begin is consider this right here. Okay, we learned how to do this in chapter 6. We learned how to multiply two binomials together, right? We would do what's called the FOIL method. Remember that? F-O-I-L, first, outer, inner, last. We would multiply. Basically, we're distributing 4 times. X times x, which is x squared, right? Then x times positive 3, which is positive 3x. Then positive 2 times x, which is positive 2x. And then positive 2 times positive 3, which is positive 6. And then we could combine our like terms, and we get our finalized polynomial, right? Well, as it turns out, this lesson, factoring trinomials, is going to be doing that exact process, but in reverse. We're going to be starting with this thing right here. You're going to be given the trinomial, and you're going to have to go backwards to get the original binomials that are multiplied together. So essentially what this is just the reverse of chapter 6. That's all this is. That's all factoring is. It's taking an already multiplied out polynomial and breaking it up into its smaller components. Okay? So that's what this box says right here. Today we will learn that factoring is the reverse process of foiling. They're basically just opposites of one another. Factoring and multiplying are opposite processes. So, slide number 2. Here's an example. Ready? X squared plus 8x plus 15. What our goal is to do is to write this as two smaller binomials being multiplied. Okay? And here's what you do. You need to think in your head, or you could use a calculator, it doesn't matter. Two numbers that add up to the middle number. See that 8 there right there? We need to come up with two numbers that add up to 8 and two numbers that multiply to 15. They have to be the same exact two numbers. Okay? That's the process. You need to figure out which two numbers add up to 8 and also multiply to 15. Okay? So that's step 3 right here. Find two numbers that multiply to the end number and add up to the middle number. The middle number is b, right? Isn't this a, this b, and this c? So what I usually do is I make a little chart. Okay, so we need to multiply to the number 15 and add up to the number 8. So then I'll write out all of the numbers that multiply to 15. So I know 15 is 1 times 15. 2 does not go into 15. 3 does. 3 times 5. 4 does not. That's it. Those are the only numbers that multiply into 15. 1 and 15 and 3 and 5. Now, the numbers that add up to 8, well, you could have 1 plus 7, 2 plus 6, 3 plus 5, 4 plus 4, and actually 0 plus 8, which I didn't list. But now, compare both lists. Which numbers in the list are exactly identical matches? These two, 3 and 5. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 plus 5 is 8. So those are our two key numbers, 3 and 5. So here's what you do. It's very simple. You write your parentheses as x plus 3 and x plus 5. You just put in those two numbers right there with two x's. So that's what we just wrote. We wrote x plus 3, x plus 5, and that is our factored binomial. That's our factored answer. And then finally, you could check your answer to see if you did it right. You check it by foiling it. The same way we would back in chapter 6. X times x is x squared. X times 5 is 5x, positive. 3 times x is positive 3x. 3 times 5 is 15. Combine your like terms in the middle. You get x squared plus 8x plus 15, and that should match our original problem, which it does, right? X squared plus 8x plus 15 was our original problem right here, right? So that is how you factor a trinomial.